With Not Like Mama, Mowry brings the family kitchen to television. The new competition series introduces viewers to new dishes and regional customs while showcasing other cultures via food. Mowry is fulfilling her destiny. In addition to showcasing the food of many parts of the world, she is providing amateur cooks with a platform to display their skills as the host and producer of the new television series Not Like Mama. Treasured recipes are passed down from memory by families from one generation to the next. Frequently, these foods serve as the focal point of family get-togethers. These candidates will try to prepare meals in front of their family members during each episode. My goal was to produce a program that highlighted the numerous exquisite dishes from various cultures. Mowry explains, "Food is more than just food to me. Along with the encounter come memories and experiences, lessons learned, a history, and an abundance of other things. There is a lot of power and impact in that when you realize and comprehend the why behind the history of these foods." Mowry sat down with Essence amid the success of her new program, Not Like Mama, which is currently available on key platforms like Tubi, YouTube, the Roku channel, and FilmRise streaming applications. They also talked about when Mowry fell in love with the kitchen and other topics. Essential. You write cookbooks, you host a cooking show, and you also have an appearance on a cooking show. Could you describe the beginning of your interest in cooking and food culture? Mowry. For me, it started when I helped my mother in the kitchen as her sous chef. She invited me into the kitchen on the holidays when she thought I was old enough to handle a knife. And I don't know, I feel that even as a parent, they can always tell what their children are going to love or excel in. Accordingly, I believe my mother was saying, "She ready," from that angle. She always prepares her collard greens without the rib, so I was at the kitchen when I remembered simply washing them. So I would roll it up for her. We would cut out the ribs first, roll them up like a little cigar, and then just begin chopping. So I'd assist her in preparing that meal. I would assist her in making fried chicken as well. My mom uses a cast iron skillet to cook fried chicken. She had one thing that she would always do. She used the cast iron skillet to cook everything. She would use that cast iron skillet to create gravy. However, I recall that she would assign me the task of seasoning the chicken. I was honored since, as you may know, improper seasoning can ruin an entire meal, particularly some fried chicken. She would simply add the seasoning after I had washed the chicken in the wash basin. She would merely set it down next to the wash basin, Lawry's seasoning salt with the garlic sauce. She didn't say anything like season the chicken, but I could tell that as soon as she put that down next to me, I should start doing that. She trusted me to do that, so it was an honor for her to do so. I would simply assist her with more meals and recipes after that. It became into a chore after that when she realized how well I could move around the kitchen. Therefore, I had a duty to prepare breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the entire family when I was a teenager. For the entire week, I would be responsible for packing the school lunches and everything else. That's when my passion for cooking truly started to grow. In relation to parenthood, how much did it intensify your love of cooking? Yes, I believe that the purpose of cooking was the main factor that altered. It was more about nurturing when you became a mother, right? Being a nurturer at heart, this was how I showed my love and affection for my kids, by making them smile, spending quality time with them, and creating experiences, all in the hopes that they would cherish these memories just as I had with my mother. That's when I believe the pure joy and excitement really started to take off for me in the kitchen. I think it just got more intentional. Could you explain the significance of the show's title, Not Like Mama, as well as how you came to be the host? The title, therefore, has great significance for me, as I have always felt that both in my own experience and as you can see with the visitors and participants in the program, there is always that one family member who is the life of the party and has a lot of charisma. And Mama is generally that person. My great-grandmother gave me the recipes, which were then passed down to my grandmother, who in turn gave them to my mother, who in turn gave them to me. Therefore, something has weight, that has historical context. When I think of the word mama, I think of culture, yes, hierarchy. There is a history behind my strong desire to do so. I wanted the show's title to truly represent that. And as the producer, I thought it was fantastic to be able to start or participate in your own projects. I simply consider it a great blessing to be able to take charge, decide on my professional path, and design my own vehicles and projects. Everyone wants it, in my opinion, especially actors. It usually comes down to waiting on the next project, and that's when a great deal of tension becomes involved. However, I no longer desire to reside in that area. I have a thorough understanding of my target audience. I am aware of my neighborhood. I created my own community. I have a strong sense of community, so why not give it a try, I thought. However, I had assumed that it would begin with a television program of some kind. When it comes to developing my own initiatives, I initially believed that everything would be prearranged. However, it's amazing how many of the projects I've worked on and produced are unscripted, which excites me even more because I don't have to portray a persona. I could just be who I am. You discussed the history of food, the meals featured in the show, and the families and cultures that are highlighted in this show in one of your earlier responses. Could you explain the process by which you selected the families and recipes you wanted to include this season? I felt that it was crucial to highlight various cultures, and the reason for that is that I have a strong desire to introduce my kids to travel at an early age so they can experience new foods, learn about various cultures, and experience diverse lifestyles. I believe it merely develops character, and to be honest, it makes us less close-minded. As I've gotten older, everything I do, even in this field, needs to be meaningful, intentional, and inspirational. Yes, if I don't feel any of it, I don't want to do anything. For what purpose? It is not solely my concern. I therefore wanted to draw attention to and produce a display that featured all of the numerous exquisite treats from other civilizations. Furthermore, eating is more than just food to me. Yes, food is associated with memories, experiences, lessons learned, history, and experiences. And when you study more about the background of these meals, you realize why they have such tremendous power and effect. And the answer can be as straightforward as geography. Where they were from, where they lived, and how much significance was placed on that component, since it was either a part of a religious ritual performed in the family or a memory that bonded them all. Additionally, it's about creating community in the manner it's passed down from generation to generation. These are the subjects that I have a strong passion for. I therefore wanted to use the show to embody those pillars, if I may use that phrase, and highlight foods that I was previously unaware of. Do you understand what I mean? There were other foods that they had to repeatedly explain to me how to pronounce them because I was unfamiliar with them. It's something I have never done before, and that's precisely what I'm saying. This job is truly amazing. It's also lovely, in my opinion, to be able to work a job that allows you to taste and enjoy these amazing flavors, ingredients, and meals while also learning about the history and the reasons behind how and why it brought families together. Given that we are currently in the holiday season, do you have a favorite or most meaningful holiday dish? That is an excellent question, and my response would be my collard greens. I'll tell you why they hold special meaning for me and why they're my favorite food. Once more, the dish is fantastic, tasty, and great, but the reason is this. This is a cuisine that comes from my heritage. This recipe has been handed down through the generations. For this particular dish, my mother even told me that she would travel to the fields with her great-grandmother to prepare it. To obtain the materials, they would head outside to the crop fields. Furthermore, that wasn't the supermarket. And once more, it affects you to realize the amount of effort and storytelling that went into it. Do you understand what I mean? Once more, this is what I mean when I say that cooking a meal and sharing it with your family transforms it into something amazing. It takes on significance, and I want to keep making such experiences and memories for my children. I know how significant that was and how that represented something to me, which is why food became a part of my life, and this is why food, the holidays, and tradition are all so important to me. But before I tell you about those collard greens, let me tell you about something else straight away. If I were to face my mother, I would be trembling in my bones, like in a collard greens competition. God, oh God. God, oh God. Asking someone to contrast the two. Absolutely not. Bravo to these participants, as it requires a great deal of bravery.